Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Sunfall Cycle. What face is that? What face do I make? Bronze, what is the face I make?
You make like a possum face.
What face?
Possum face.
What
Is that
face
the
do I
possum
make?
face or the
I
mole
tried
face?
to do it, but my cheeks aren't as...
These? You don't have
Hang on,
you don't
we're
have
all
cheeks
doing it.
to store
It's
acorns for the
irreproducible.
winter? You don't have big old chubby cheeks that store the fruit and vegetables
That can't
for
be
the long
duplicated.
winter the long winter solstice?
Steven just looks like an old man who lost his glasses.
What? That is, I am one bad day away from being that. Don't make fun. I am this close to being an old man who lost his glasses.
Where did they go?
My name is Stephen McGrump.
McGrumpkins.
Sit around.
I used to play Dungeons and Dragons.
I'm Stephen McGrum.
I'm a G-dang glasses.
Let me tell y'all about Thaco.
The classic back in my day.
I can't wait for you to be old.
I can't wait for all of us to be old. We should do.
We're gonna join a retirement community together and just like play.
We're gonna run it. We're gonna run that place.
We're gonna play D&D and WoW Classic and just raid constantly.
Oh my
WoW
God,
Cla-
that sounds
You're
like
telling
so
me the
much
pinnacle of my
fun.
elderly existence is WoW Classic? I can't.
Yes. Except way up then, WoW Classic is gonna be like, I don't know, Pandaria or something.
It's gonna be like,
Back
look
in
at
the good
Grandpa
old
over here
days.
playing Mr. Pandaria.
Yeah, exactly. Back in the good old days of Cataclysm.
What? You're
I
telling
remember
me?
being the first guild to down Ulakir. It was a good one. But Throne of the Four Winds always dropped randomized loot, so we didn't really get anything for it.
I farmed every one of the wind serpents, every last one of them.
Transmog, back in my day, you wore ugly armor and you were happy with it.
Have you done all of the Black Prince's quests? I've done it. I have the cape that shines. It's true. God, I know a lot about that
I
expansion.
hope
That's
this is
real.
exactly how both of you sound when you're old.
It is. It definitely is.
Meanwhile,
They're just-
Steven's sitting there like,
There are 4 other people in the room, and then there's some poor janitor with a vacuum.
This is good game design.
I can't see my inventory.
Edith, cleanse my debuffs.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my God. This is why we came back, guys. People needed
Welcome.
to see this.
This is it. This is what we're doing today.
This
We're,
is it.
we're riffing on old people in World of Warcraft.
What a weird combination.
Man,
Man,
what a
those
great
elderly in
combination.
their World of
It would be
Warcraft.
so wholesome though. Like we'd all be playing D&D, and every time Steven moved a figure, we'd move it back and move the right one, like the one he meant to move. You
But
know?
not tell him because we don't.
But we
want
wouldn't
to.
tell him. Yeah, like he'd be
Yeah.
like, "Well, this orc moves here," and it's like a halfling. And we were like, "Okay, let's move that. Move the orc."
I like put something down in the middle of the tabletop. Like the great red dragon swoops down at you. It's just like a bag of Doritos. It makes a roaring sound. Do you hear it?
The nurse is like, how did you get these? Tell your grandchildren to stop bringing you Doritos. It's bad for your health. And just like keep taking them from you. You're like, my dragon.
Yeah. You have disadvantage on stealing Doritos.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
I'll
I
have
worked
you
with
know
the
I'm the
elderly for a
dungeon
few years,
master.
and I can tell you, if D&D would probably be great. They had like a barbershop quartet and like all of these
Oh,
other
yeah.
neat hobbies. Are you telling me they wouldn't play D&D? They would.
They would play D&D.
It wasn't around when they were kids.
That's true.
So
I taught an
instead,
exercise
barbershop
class,
quartet.
and we didn't play D&D, but we played imagination games.
Oh, that's cute.
We played a
That's
game where
really
we said,
cute.
if you were looking out the window of the house you grew up in, what would you see? To like play memory imagination games. So it was really
Oh,
fun.
cool.
And based on how fun your memory was, everyone gave each other coins as a prize, and then they got to shop for gifts for their families at Christmas. It was very fun.
Oh,
I
yeah,
highly
they gave 'em
recommend go
Oh,
teach a fitness class at a retirement home.
Why are
guys.
you the
Nothing
sweetest
is more
person
fun.
that ever lived? Like, that's
No.
What?
grossly sweet. That's like there's
Saccharin. Wouldn't let you
yes.
say.
Oh, that
That's
is
nice.
corn
That is-
syrupy sweet. I don't know.
See, that is really great. And then just made me realize when we're old, though, when we do those types of things, instead of getting gifts, it's just going to be loot boxes.
Yeah. Surprise fun mechanics.
It could be a visit from your
Okay, okay.
grandchildren or another color shirt. It's wild.
But you know, I have to say, opening loot boxes is fun.
I like
true.
loot boxes. Like I like playing
You
with
just
them.
never know what you're gonna get.
I don't like
I like
the
gambling.
ability to buy them with money.
Yeah, no, I don't like
That's
that.
the
either.
one I am not a fan of, but I do enjoy loot boxes in the game.
When you think about it, every single World of Warcraft boss is a loot box. You never
Absolutely.
really know what he's gonna drop. You have some idea, but you never know.
Oh man, an MMO where you pay money to deal damage to the loot box.
Stop! Don't use your game dev powers for evil. Use them. We've been over this.
That is like the pinnacle
Jeff.
of evil
Oh
too. Like, if you want to beat the
Yeah.
boss, you have to. You know what? Actually, that's exactly what most of those mobile
Yeah,
RPG games
absolutely.
Yeah, I was
are.
going to say.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
You just like pay for another chance to like
Yeah.
attack the boss today.
Exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Oh.
Steven's starting a mobile game company tomorrow.
Yeah. Let's start a mobile game company, y'all. We can be rich.
Do you have the level 4 5-star bronze? You can get her if you pay $8 million.
You have
Just
to
have the
merge.
Sunfall Cycle as like a. Every time you die, you have to pay money for Saloon to respawn you.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
right.
Yeah. Well,
Or-
no.
or
You
wait-
automatically
or wait
respawn,
72 hours.
but you have to wait 72 hours. But you can pay to speed that up.
Yes.
That's how you do it.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
not supposed to use your game dev powers for evil.
Or wait, here's a better one. You respawn, you can go right back, you can start adventuring again. But if you pay, you get like the well-fed buff that gives you like you can only get it for like the first few minutes you've left the moon.
Oh yeah. God, and then you can pay for double XP. You pay for.
Nah, nowadays mobile games are shifting over to like you got a treasure chest, it's gonna be open in like 12 hours, or you could open it now with a golden key. So just be like, you go out, you adventure for a while, you like combine your bronzes, your level 3-star bronzes into a level 4-star.
Well, I mean, you
bronze.
can sell those
As
too
you
and
do.
get some extra coins that you can then use to unlock chests.
Yeah,
Suck my golden key.
That's what
Exactly.
Bronze
That's
says
what
when you
she
sell
says.
when you sell bronze characters.
when you merge your bronze together, you can get voice lines from the loot boxes.
Yeah, every character has their own voice lines. Brit's
I'm
like,
getting so upset with all this microtransaction talk. Loot
is real.
boxes don't have to be bad, but these loot boxes that you guys are describing are from hell.
every time you unlock a
From
bronze,
deepest reaches of hell.
yeah, that's what she says every time. Deepest reaches of hell. That's it. And Brit's
I've
I'm just
never-
happy to be here. And like that's like when you unlock a Brit, she's like, hey, I'm excited. Thanks for unlocking me.
I hope I don't get eaten by rats again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
no,
I'll
when
make
you
some more friends today.
when you open the box, hers would have like butterflies come out and be like, I'm just happy to be here. I'm still Britt Wiseman. And my box wouldn't even open. It would just burst into flames and just be like, furthest reaches of hell.
I would come over and just water it with a watering can and then help you out of it.
Canonically, that's how every time you come out of a loot box, Brit's character walks on the screen, it takes like 5 minutes to open your loot boxes, puts you out, helps you out of it, dusts you off, and then it's like, here's a new character.
So good.
I've never shipped a game with loot boxes, but I do have a lot of fun coming up with like the worst possible. Like it's like a fun game design challenge. It's like, how terrible could we make this? Oh, actually pretty terrible.
I don't know what that means, and I'm worried for you. I don't want to hate you. I really don't want to hate you. That's all.
I would never do that because that's not fun for anyone. But like the mental challenge, That is kind
Games
of
aren't supposed to be fun. They're supposed to be challenging so then you can brag to people on Twitter about how you beat them.
fun is actually a terrible word for describing
I
games.
think they should get rid of the
Never
normal setting on games. Every game should just be on hard and you can't change it.
Just ultra hard all the time. Mhm.
So the
the
late
game-
80s, early 90s is what you really are saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because then when I say, "Oh, I've beaten Stephen Lumpkin's Disaster Dungeon number 3," because there's 3 of them, I
Yeah,
don't want
then it,
people thinking I played it on pussy mode the way Jesse did. I want them to know
then
I
it
played it on the
right,
hardcore
'cause-
mode.
I'll
That-
be real though.
In order
Pussy
for
mode
that
was
to be
pretty
true,
great.
there can only be a hardcore mode, so that everybody knows I played it on the hardest difficulty, and I deserve recognition for that because I have nothing else in my life I feel good about.
Yeah, right. I
And
wonder if we're
God-
going to see games moving towards like an attachment of the difficulty achieved.
God
onto
forbid you have
achievements.
like any sort of like need for like accessibility or like a disability or anything.
Disability.
Like,
This
God
is the
forbid.
only thing in my life I feel happy about. What about my
take that away.
disability?
My whole life is a disability.
God. People can't know that I didn't play Death Stranding on the cinematic, but they have to know that I was on the hardest mode.
I am so curious what the gameplay of that game is even going to be.
Can I
I'm
tell
so
you? I figured it out. I
Yeah,
figured it
what
out.
is it?
The Kevin Costner movie, The Postman, but it's just a video game. I'm
Yeah.
not even joking. I think
you
that's
might
what
be
it
right.
is.
I think you might be right.
Go watch that movie. It's not good, but go watch that movie.
Oh no! Wait, what?
The Postman's not a great film.
I've only seen the last 15 minutes.
It's
The
not
only
great.
Kevin
The
Costner
last
film
15
I'm
minutes are the most
familiar with
ridiculous 15 minutes of all. But like,
is
go watch.
Waterworld.
The whole premise is like one postman will unite the entire world, all of America again, because mail is flowing. Like that's the premise.
Yeah.
Go look at the trailers for
lies.
this game.
Yeah.
That's the premise of this game. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And he's like, but instead of being a postman, he's like FedEx. He's like the,
Yes,
the corporate
yes,
version.
Exactly.
Like, don't worry, FedEx is still here.
And he has a baby. You know,
Please sign for this.
he's a
I
single
think
father.
you're going to be able to talk into the controller
Uh,
and send messages to other players who are playing right now through their controller.
I don't want to get a message through my controller
I
that
don't
makes
want to
fun
get
of me.
called the N-word
my
while I'm
God.
playing Death Stranding, okay?
by
I
a
just-
baby. By a
listen.
baby you're kidding.
Listen, life is already hard. I really don't need to be called these
You're
things
just-
when I'm just playing Death Stranding.
You're just gonna get the sounds of someone who with the open mic always has a parakeet and always has their air conditioning on blast. And that's all you're gonna hear is just like a brah in the
don't-
background.
I'm just gonna hear
Your mom is
Bronze
like-
messaging me like pussy mode. I know you're playing it. You suck, Cox. I'm like, oh, I just want to see the story. No.
The feature is terrible.
The feature is terrible.
The feature. The future.
Future.
The
Oh,
future.
I was like, I mean, it could be fun.
Nah, we're dead.
Oh my god. Hi everyone, welcome back. It's so nice to see all of you. Wow. Bronze is making it incredibly hard to focus, and I'm gonna stop talking and let Steven talk so I don't have to say a damn thing. I can just stare at Bronze's weird smirk all day.
Staring contest. Computer screen staring contest. Staring, smirking. Lip licking. Good. Welcome. It is, in fact, truly and honestly, so good to see you. It's been a while since we played. It's been about 2 months since our last session. And I think the first order of business is the heaviest one today. For any of you who are not aware, who have maybe not been on the internet or maybe watching this at home after the fact, we have some very bad news about Geoff Robinson. Geoff passed away 2 months ago from a pulmonary embolism in his lung. And yeah, it is really, really sad. And I think we all wanted to make sure that we took a nice long break to think for ourselves, sit with our feelings about that, and really consider whether or not we wanted to continue with the Sunfall Cycle or find another way to move forwards as a player group. It was very quickly clear to all of us that we wanted to keep playing together because we really value the time that we get to spend together and having this group of friends. I think having an event like that happen in your life, losing someone who is an important part of your group, for me, it really threw into sharp contrast just how like meaningful the time that I spend with the four of you every week has really been. So after some time and some thinking, we, I think unanimously decided that we all wanted to really continue with the Sunfall.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
It was really hurtful. I'm leaving.
Okay, goodbye. Yeah, so I thought we could start today. It's going to be a somewhat unconventional show today, just because we're back after a long break. I think it would be really nice to start just by talking about Geoff. And I know that that is sad and hard, but I think, you know, if it feels comfortable to you all, maybe we can do that. What do you all think? Does that feel okay?
Yeah.
Sure.
I would like that. Yeah.
Right on. And then we'll probably move on to, I think we wanted to summarize what has happened in the game up until now so that we remember where we've come from and what we're starting to do in the Sunfall Cycle. And then we might do some leveling up at the end, but we're sticking to our 2.5 hour time limit today. So we may not get through all of that. So, yeah, heavy stuff. I'm happy to start. I think when I heard about Geoff's passing, one of the first things that came through my mind was just how many Dungeons and Dragons memories I have with Geoff, and just how big of a part he played in my online Twitch D&D space. From the very first thing that I ever did on Twitch, Dark Heresy, to now the Sunfall Cycle. A huge number of my gaming memories were with him. And it's really sad to know that I'm not going to get to play with someone who's invokes so much personality in his characters, who brings such a he was so robust at the table, right? He was such a big presence. But I also, like, all of those memories are just so great. That means a lot to me. How about y'all? Eric?
Yeah. So Geoff is somebody who I didn't have that many experiences growing up. I'm kind of on the opposite side of you, Steven, but I've always watched him and stuff from all the days in roleplay. But it really was this year where we really were starting to connect a little more, and I got excited to be like, man, I have a new friend, and then it kind of just got ripped from me.
Yeah.
So that was really hard to handle, and I think one of the big reasons why I wanted to continue this game is because I know how important games are, and like especially long-term games to Geoff, and how it just seems like a nice like screw you to RNG and him getting taken away from us, like just out of nowhere, and that we're gonna win despite of it. Like I just feel like that sort of determination is just a great way to memorialize Geoff and just his amazingness. I don't know. It's I love him. And
yeah.
And thank you.
Yeah. Bronze, Britt?
Sorry, I'm just gonna cry because
Yeah.
it's still really hard.
It is.
Yeah.
He was kind of, Geoff was kind of like a brother-in-law to me in a weird way through Anna, and he was my neighbor, and he was my friend, and he's a great person, and I'm just grateful for the time that we got to share, and I'm glad I got to know him, and I'm really glad I got to see all of the positive things that he did for the people he loved and the community that he had. And don't produce your friend's memorial. I can tell you that. That's not a good idea. I'm really glad that I got to take part in helping people remember him. I mean, that was a really great thing to see. And it was really cool to see just up close how much he affected so many people in such a positive way. So I just miss him, and I still feel like it's not fair.
No.
But I don't know. I love you guys, and I'm really grateful to have you all in my life, and I'm grateful for the communities that you guys have built and that we have. And I just hope that it's a good reminder for us all to just take care of each other and be kind.
Absolutely.
My heart.
Sorry.
No, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Jesse, how about you?
Man, this is just as hard. I gotta like. It's just as hard for me. You know, Geoff was part of that weird group of us, myself and John Bain and a bunch of us who sort of were in this weird thanks for making us money Blizzard click. And we all kind of came up together, and it's, you know, it's been very difficult trying to wrap your head around everything. But the general takeaway that I have for myself and for everyone else is to view every day as a special chance to take time for others, to remember how everything is so fleeting and special, and to truly like love one another and remember that, you know, the time that we have with each other is, you know, it's a gift. And so that's why I love doing this show with these goobers. And you know, I'm really excited to be back doing it, because I know if there's one thing I know, it's that Geoff would 2000% be like, continue the show, idiots. So I you know, it's a privilege to be here with the four of you and keeping this up.
Yeah. I think for me, one of the things that's been on my mind a little bit is, I think it was maybe a year ago, I also lost an older man that I had played Dungeons and Dragons with growing up, and he and I hadn't been in touch for probably a decade since I moved away from North Carolina. But, you know, tragedies like this, as unfair as they are and as heartbreaking as they are, they're a part of life. And those of you out there who have grown to love Dungeons and Dragons through watching people like us play, who have grown to become fans of streams, maybe are streaming yourself or finding ways of engaging with your own community of friends or fans. I feel like it's important that we as creators approach our life on the screen in an honest and real way. And a part of that sometimes is dealing with the emotional shock of losing someone close to you and finding the right way, the comfortable way to move forwards with that as a group of friends, and, you know, growing together as a part of that instead of growing apart. So I hope that that's something that we can all do together. I think that we can. I was really actually I don't know if any of you out there are creators, or the four of you maybe have this experience. There's always a voice in the back of my head for any show that I run that's like, they don't really like it that much. They're just kind of tolerating it because it's fun to sit on camera. And so when all four of you were just like, nope, I'm having a great time with this show, I want to keep it going, that was also really uplifting and rewarding and meaningful. And then also the added angle of supporting each other and, you know, continuing on in memory of Geoff, and, you know, being together as a team. That matters a lot.
Admittedly,
Sorry, I'm like having a hard time saying anything.
That's no problem.
it's all right. We all know. You know, sometimes you don't have to say anything.
Yep.
We grew together really quickly, and he was one of my best friends, so it's just hard to say anything without sobbing like an idiot.
I feel like sometimes sobbing like an idiot is the only appropriate response.
What I can say for Bronze is that her and I got pretty drunk after the funeral and had many hours of just crying and talking about how amazing Geoff was. So she might not be ready to say it here, but I can tell you guys she's got hours worth of wonderful things to say about her relationship with him.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brett.
And also, I knew today would be pretty heavy. And I want to thank all four of you for being here and for having this conversation, which is hard and is sad. And I want to thank everybody in chat today for coming and hanging out and being with us during this time. You know, I think it's appropriate and meaningful, and you're all wonderful people and you're all doing great.
There you go. I put a bunch of hearts in chat because we love you.
You gotta throw the hearts in chat. Absolutely.
We love you.
So, all of that being said, I don't think we need to linger on it for any longer.
I think we should address something that is been bugging me since this stream started. Where is your beard, Eric? What happened? What is going on here? Someone needs to address the elephant in the room. What is happening right now?
All right, I made a mistake. And now I gained 10 years in the process. I'm growing it back. It's hard to see, but it's coming back.
Yeah, chat wants to know who this child is who joined in. What happened to Eric? Where?
Yeah, don't worry. This will be the only time you ever see it again.
The 5 o'clock 1 week later shadow?
Yeah.
You no longer look like Geoff's younger brother.
My cherub-like cheeks will once more
look
go
like
and
his
die.
child.
Your skin looks really nice, though. I mean,
Yeah.
you have very nice skin, so we get to see that.
You look
It's
like his
like,
son instead of his brother.
I was thinking like combination granddad and 2-year-old, right? I can't tell how old this person is.
Yeah, definitely get carded more.
I'm not gonna lie. When you first got into our group chat before we started, I was like, how old is he actually? Because now I think you're like much younger than I initially thought, which now I'm worried because I wonder if like I should just take this off and look like I'm 18 again.
Yeah.
Like, ladies, hello.
Everyone knows mole people live forever.
What?
You have that regenerative skin.
Ladies.
You live in death forever.
What do you mean, lady?
A Wind in the Willows episode. Like, we have to do.
Okay. I can't wait. There's lots of grubs in there for me to eat.
I've always had a baby face. I don't know. I'm 29. I'm about to be 29.
It's good. You're 13 going on 30.
Yeah, exactly. I got that Brad Pitt youth.
You'd have to be the
I'm
hamster of
enjoying
the
it.
party for sure.
Okay.
That's your.
Yes, let's do it. Okay.
Wow.
This is not an insult.
Sounds wonderful.
But Steven reminds me so much of Master Splinter. He would have to be a rat. But I love rats. So that's
Rats
not.
are great.
Yeah, rats are
Master
intelligent
Splinter's a
and they're
dope
cool and
character.
they look so wise. To me, you would be a rat.
Awesome. Rats are awesome.
Yeah. Obviously, Bronze is some sort of honey badger. Obviously. And Britt, I think, is the main character mouse who's just caught up in this wild world. She doesn't know why she's there. She's been sent on an epic quest from like an older mouse who was like,
has
"You're
been
the
living
only
in an
one."
orphanage for her life.
Yes.
Yeah, raised by mouse monks.
I have like some giant mission, but I'm somehow way more concerned about like where my missing handkerchief like flew off to when a car drove by and like. Oh, please.
Ironically, flew off in the direction of adventure.
Yeah.
Who knew? Who knew?
I'd watch this.
Yeah.
Stumbling through.
What are you doing here, mouse? This is mole people territory.
Will you be my friend?
Oh, you look. I have to like touch your face. You look all right to me. So
I
dumb.
feel like when you came upon me, it would be me murdering like a bunch of wolves or something.
Totally.
Thanks.
We'd be like, oh my God, that poor creature, she's being eaten by wolves. And then they all just go like yiping off into the woods.
But Britt doesn't really understand. She's like, "How did you get that red paint all over you?"
I like walk up, she turned around and be like, ah, like, blood. I'm like, you saved me from the wolves. Can we be friends?
I'd be like, can you feel it? There's a change in the weather. This young mouse may be the one that's foretold.
See, Master Splinter. I'm
Yeah,
not wrong.
exactly.
Oh my god, how edgelordy would Bronze's character be?
The most.
Yeah,
I don't know. Are honey badgers edgelords?
I don't know. That's
Oh
what I'm
yeah.
wondering.
Oh, they're
I don't
the
know if
most
it's edgy or
edgelordy.
feisty. I'm pretty feisty. I'll admit that.
You're definitely like the dark hero.
Yeah.
You're like, no one knows
Don't be
where
a
your
cocky mouse.
yeah, no one knows where your allegiance really lies. Like,
Oh,
are
yeah.
you with the wolves or not? Like, oh yeah,
Like-
you're trouble.
Bronze also
Secretly
kind of
beholden
reminds.
to the
What's
weasels.
that? What's that like? What's her name? Joanna in the adventures like go down under or whatever that the mouse.
Oh
movie?
yeah.
She just like eats the eggs. She's like not bad. She's just herself, but like doesn't really want people to be wasting her time.
I do not remember enough.
You don't
of this
remember
movie.
her?
The
I remember the
Rescuers Down
Adventures
Under.
Down Under, but I only remember the Golden Eagle.
I
that they, like,
loved
fly on.
no, and the reason I remember this is like compliment Bronze. I loved this fucking animal so much.
I'm
This
looking
is
up photos
compliment.
because I kind of remember it. Clacking into the microphone. I'm sorry.
I remember American Tail. Fifles Goes West.
Oh, she was the big lizard. Oh my god.
Remember he's like, give me the eggs, and she's like,
Yes.
eats them all. And she's like, fuck you.
My favorite
where
part
do
is everyone's just like, yeah, she was just a jerk.
She's like not helping.
She's-
No,
she's
she's
the
like not
bro-
helping the bad guy be bad, but she's not like super into the good guy. She just like wants the eggs and for people to like leave her alone.
Where do we all land on Tailspin?
Tailspin, yes.
Yes.
OEA.
Pro-
Whoa.
pro-
Well, I mean,
Pro
in
Tailspin.
Tailspin, obviously, I would be Baloo. And
Obviously.
Britt would be Kit, which I think was the name of the little guy.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Bronze would be the swashbuckling suave pirate dog guy, whatever his name
Oh,
was.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
I didn't
actually,
even remember that character until now, but yes.
I want to change things because you shaved, Eric. Now you're Kit, and
Yeah, that's fair.
Britt is probably Launchpad McQuack. I think is who you are.
That is her MC name.
That's what I
Hey,
usually spin as on the weekend.
Yeah, Britt Wiseman, aka Launchpad McQuack.
What up, guys? Put your hands up. It's Launchpad McQuack. Launch them up, guys. Launch them up.
Wow.
It's-
He's
it's-
a little surfer bro, too.
Quack,
That's the
quack.
worst DJ name I've ever. That's launch him up, guys. Launch him up. It's truly terrible. Truly terrible.
Launch your dongers, guys. Launch your dongers.
Launch your dongers.
That's so
Ooh.
bad.
It's
It's
not
terrible. Launch your dog.
Do it if you want to. That's why I'd be a bad DJ. I'd be like, if you want to, guys, bring them up. If you don't, it's fine. It's okay.
If it
Do
feels
whatever
good.
feels right for you. But if it does feel right, launch those dongers. Okay, let's go. That's it's not good. I'm gonna try now. How would you DJ, Jesse? What would you say?
First off, would never DJ.
What?
I don't have that skill. I would be like,
This is
everyone's
really
judging my music choices. My remixes are trash. I don't even know how to spin records. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't.
Oh my god, you'd get up there to do it, then you'd put on like an hour-long improv stand-up comedy routine about how you're not gonna play music.
But it's me like pressing a play button, like, all right, get
Dedicate
ready,
to the bit.
everybody. I'm about to spin it, and I just press a button. It's like,
Oh
I'd
yeah,
like to
you
talk
have to
to
do
you.
this, right?
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't work if you're not holding it.
Half of it has to be hanging off your head.
Yep.
Because you're
Right.
just too cool to put the whole thing on.
I feel like
You
it'd
gotta
be more.
listen to the live sound as well as the piped-in sound.
I feel like I'd be
So-
better if I was one of those DJs that you have
Do this one.
the Jordy LaForge look. All right, it's me, DJ Jordy, broadcasting live.
From the Enterprise.
It's so you don't get distracted by the audience. There's so many people there.
Oh my god. Is that why Dead Mouse just wears that helmet?
That's why I think I'd be better off with a helmet of some sort. If I was a DJ, if I had a helmet of my own face would make it so much easier. Just like a bigger version of my face.
Oh
With
man,
headphones
yes, that's
on
so
it.
weird.
I just can't get over the fact that I'm Don Carnage. Like, I'm the coolest Tailspin character.
You are.
Oh yeah, of course.
I had a crush on him as a kid.
Who didn't? He had little tiny planes that he flew around in. Little
Yeah.
tiny baby planes.
I'm pretty sure everybody had a crush on some anthropomorphic animal growing up,
True.
Totally.
right? Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure. I'm trying to remember.
Oh, of
but
course,
I'm sure
yeah.
That's true.
Like the Goofy movie, like everybody had their favorite, like, oh, she's cute.
Yeah,
like,
Goofy's hot. I mean, she's cute.
No, yeah, single dad Goofy.
Yeah. He
Look.
raised that boy right.
Homewrecker.
Yeah.
Yep.
You fucking homewrecker.
Max, I'm your new stepfather, and I just wanted to say I'm a human being, and I don't know how I got in your world, but I fall in love with your dad. Goofy's like, gosh. The sex life is great. Yuck.
Oh, someone's gonna clip that. That's saved forever.
That's the other part of the 6-person thing.
We all
Yeah,
get on
yeah.
stage, and instead of dance, we just get it on. Come on up here, Goofy. Yuck.
That's the way we like to yuck.
Wow. Wow. Oh my God.
You're ruining Goofy for me.
Steven, I hope you know the only person in this entire party who's gonna be able to pull us into anything.
No, yeah.
You know, I'm gonna let y'all just it seems like y'all are having a really good time with Goofy.
Wake me up.
Wow, is this a
I
Goofy
can't wake
evanescence?
up.
You haven't heard it?
What? No.
This is real?
Is this a real thing?
Yes, you need to watch it right now.
Or
Hey,
go
Goofy
find.
Evanescence. Yeah, Wake Me Up Inside by Goofy. It's like the greatest video of all time.
Go find Donald Duck doing the.
I can't wake up. It's like it's the greatest thing ever.
Goofy sings, Evanescence's breathe.
Yes. You have to.
Hold on. Is this? Now I need to find
I'm just gonna
this.
watch his face. That's the only thing I care about now.
Oh wait, it's
The
coming out
reaction
from my
video now.
speakers.
Goofy.
Which one are my headphones? Oh no. Nope, it's not that one.
Oh no. Is this?
All right, we got it.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
It's transcendental.
Without a soul.
The little, like, voice waver.
Somewhere cold until you find it there and leave.
Oh, this is Pro ZD, of course.
Back home Wake me up inside. I can't wake up. Wake me up inside. Save me. Call my name.
Save me.
From the dark. Wake me up with my blood to I can't
Wait,
wake
I know I was
up
muted.
or
Yeah,
I come
yeah,
to
that was,
save
that's
me.
really special.
That's my favorite thing is introducing people to that video.
That's a good one.
That
I
is-
can't wake up.
I can't wake up. Even the best part is in the video, there's a point where even he laughs. He goes, I can't wake up. And he like giggles afterwards. And just kept it. It's so funny.
That
can't
laugh
wake
is the
up.
realization that this actually works. Like, that's the more like, oh my god, I can keep going.
I didn't
Save
expect this to
me.
work, but yeah.
Yeah.
Save me.
Incredible. All right, kids.
We have to
Should we
level
talk
up,
about
don't we?
Dungeons
Do
and
we have-
Dragons?
Yeah, do we have to
Yeah.
level up?
Well, gosh, folks, I think we should talk about Dungeons and Dragons.
That was very good.
That's good.
No, you're lying, but it's
I don't-
okay. You're
I-
lying because you love me.
I tried, and then
I
Britt
thought
was
it
like,
kinda
that was
sounded
good.
like- Well, I mean, listen, on the spectrum of goofy impressions. Like,
Yeah.
yo, what up? Like, I can't do it. So compared to what I can do, it's really good. I'm being sincere.
No, that's true. That's like a 3, and you were at like a 6, Steven.
Yeah,
So.
mine's
All
not
right,
good.
okay.
Whoa. Can you
Hmm.
please, Britt, can you please redo that for me? Just one
But
more, one more time.
Did you just say subscribe to Jesse Cox today, but in your goofy voice?
so, yeah, subscribe to Jesse Cox. Yeah. Yeah,
I sure wish you'd
Gorsh.
subscribe to
Gorsh.
Jesse Fox.
you should subscribe to Jesse Cox. Can't do it.
You're welcome, Jesse, for your new sub sound.
Mwah! Thank you. Gosh.
So good.
Yeah, so his was really good. That's what I heard. Really good voice acting.
Secret voice actor, Steven.
Oh.
Now I'm gonna have y'all meet a goofy voice in the game.
Oh no.
All right, so the Sunfall Cycle, Dark Souls, Dungeons and Dragons. Thought it would be helpful for us all to just like remember what the hell have we done over the course of this show so far. We've had, how many sessions have we had, Jesse?
33, I believe.
Is this number 33 or is this number
I think
34?
this is 34. The big 3-4.
Pretty awesome. So
If I'm wrong, someone will tell me.
it's true. Someone in chat is going to fix it. Okay. Where did we start? What's the inciting incident that kicked off this game? Do y'all remember?
The sun
Guy's falling.
The sun.
has
The
gone.
sun is
Dying.
falling.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, the sun is dying, and the world along with it.
Yeah. And you've come to this big city that's like one of the central city states on this continent. It's called Ire, which is spelled Y-R-E. You were all summoned by like request of the king, I think, if I remember correctly. And they said, they've been shipping just like hundreds of bodies into this weird scintillating dome that appeared over the center of the city. And it hasn't been working. And now they've just sort of been like recruiting randos from the outside and shipping them in, time after time. And you four were a set of the randos.
That's true. We were the randos. We all come from different places around this great world of ours, and we
Yeah.
all have different motivations for being there. Some of us are there because we want to find out what's going on, and some of us are there because the potential for dark magics, and some of us are there because we're weird orc centurions who just want to like help people for reasons that are too nice to care about.
Yep.
And
Nailed it.
the situation on the inside is that besides all the political machinations and all the things going on with the kingdom itself, there is some dark magic afoot of some sort where inside this dome, we're protected from the inevitability of the outside of the dome, which is the fact that in a few short hours, the world ends. And for us, when the world ends, it just resets inside the dome, and we are left with our memories of what happened and how to figure out how to stop what's going on outside this weird magic dome. And every time we die, which is a lot, some of us die in way worse ways than others.
It's true. It's basically a competition now, oozes versus rats.
Yes. We go to the moon, where the goddess of the moon, Saloon from the moon, she is providing us with the ability to level and to have items on our quest. And all we have to do in return is bring back moon tears to her, Tears of Saloon, and we can not only access upgrades to weapons and items, but form a little tiny society on the moon. We have a blacksmith up there and a little tiny tentacle beast named Tim, and everything's and a giant bird that pukes up money and items. And it's
full on Hamlet.
Yeah. And every time we're there, we learn a little bit more about how we probably shouldn't trust Saloon, but whatever. We need her to level up.
Britt even has a garden.
It's true. A crystal garden.
You've got crystals. Yeah.
We should keep chickens. That's like the only thing our Hamlet needs is like chickens.
When we're back down, we can get chickens. Inside the dome, there are many numerous traps and things that are trying to kill us, but more importantly, there are these weird, dark-eyed humans that have been corrupted by some mysterious force that we don't quite understand. There are various monsters and beasties that, when we kill them, come back, and some do not, aka bosses. And if you're wondering, boy, that sounds familiar, it definitely does. Wink. And we have braziers that we find to save at, and they can let us go back to the moon should we choose. Inside, it's not all monsters. There are some helpful people. There's a little barricade of, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 people and a little asshole kid that will never leave Bronze alone. And we are slowly making our way to discovering what is the source of this corruption. And the last thing I remember us trying to do was deal with the king at the center of all of this, who, when we approached, ripped off his old man clothes, and underneath was the most ripped dude who ever existed, and proceeded to kick the crap out of us.
Yes.
And somehow, I don't remember how we got it, we decided to go a different direction and deal with some other things before we went back to him, and managed to get another tier to level up, I believe. But I don't remember how that happened.
So there's some important stuff that we sort of glossed over very quickly. Bronze, Britt, you met someone very important to you in the first section of the dungeon. And Jesse talked about that briefly. There's this little tentacle guy on the moon now. Tell us about Tim. What's up with that?
He's a baby solar demon that we saved.
Yes.
And he likes to be warm.
How did you manage to convince Tim to be friends with you again?
How did we? We put him in a cauldron.
Yeah, what are you talking about? You lured his dumbass down into a cauldron and set it on fire.
Don't say that. He is dumb, but it's because he's a baby.
Yeah, he's just a baby.
You don't know that. He's a solar demon. He could be millennia old.
I can tell.
Baby, he just wanted to be warm. He just we lured him with a torch, right? And then we put him into the cauldron and we lit the fire and kept him toasty.
Yeah, you lured this octopoidal solar demon into a cauldron with a torch and then lit it on a fire so that he would be warm again. And now he's been very happy. There was something from forever ago, if I recall, about there being more creatures like Tim around, that he was maybe looking for friends.
Oh, he did say friend. I remember that now. Yeah.
Well, we did fight a bunch of solar demons, right? When they fell from the sky because that staff.
They were pretty unequivocally aggressive, unlike Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solar demons also have the weird thing of being hot enough that they can like forge magic weapons or something like that. Like we had that one in the forge before it blew up. I remember that.
Yeah, and that's why that was the excuse I used. I mean, the reason I used to get Tim to the moon was that he could be used to forge Armoros' sword. Yeah. And he did. He performed admirably.
Yeah. They're also literally shed from the sun. Like a few of them have literally rained down on us, like Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos style.
But don't you think it's strange that we brought something from the sun to the moon? Don't you think that's a complication that we've created?
I think that makes sense because
those insurance policy.
Things are both in space.
He's closer to the sun now than he was before. I see the logic.
You're both so right.
There's only a certain number of times when that's true, based on if orbits are correct.
Sometimes it's actually further.
Yeah, it depends on if it's a periapsis or apoapsis, I guess. That's fine.
What is it? It's full moon. He's further away from the sun. New moon. He's closer to the sun.
Ooh, does that affect his power in the forge?
Is it perihelion? I don't know.
All I know is I held him over my head and ran high knees.
In case
all the way back to the brazier, and he burned. He like singed everything because I was carrying him over my head because I was afraid that Armoros and Jesse were gonna kill him. So I grabbed him and ran.
We tried.
So you saved him. I'm so glad you saved him.
Yeah, I took a lot of fire damage, but it's worth it.
And now we have a friend on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, another one other than Saloon.
It's also still, it's not entirely, I also like to remind everybody, it's also not entirely clear that helping Saloon is actually a good thing.
Right. We don't know, but she's the only one keeping us alive after our numerous run-ins with slimes. So
we don't really have a choice. No. She just, the thing about Saloon, to catch the audience up, is that she seems like the type of person that pretends to be dumb, and they're the most dangerous people. Like, she's always like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And we're all like, you know, like she has that vibe of like that she knows everything, but she doesn't tell us anything. And that's never good.
Oh, I forgot the most updated information. Thank you, chat. That's why you're the best. We had gone back to the past. We were given vision by an old dwarf woman, I think.
Yes.
And
the gray cloaks.
We were taken back to the past to see how this all started, what happened on day one. And we, at the time, took over the bodies of 4 individuals who were very similar to us, but had different names and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And what ended up happening is we learned, surprisingly, that those people still exist currently, and they're super badasses, and someone, no names, had a run-in with his or her former self and was brutally murdered. No names, whoever that could have been, brutally murdered by being stabbed in the back upon seeing their own reflection. And so we learned that we have to watch out for ourselves, the greatest enemy of all. And we ended up going into the forest because we had numerous quests to do in there, and we decided it was time to finally go. And we had a run-in with a giant flesh beast. And at the very end of it, we managed to get, I think that's how we got our tier.
Yeah.
Our last tier.
Armoros ripped the gem out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a giant flesh scarecrow that Armoros just ran up to and grabbed the orb from, and then it came to life. But we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
So we found Tim in the first section.
Time out. This is the most we've ever talked about Tim. Am I to understand that from this introduction to Tim, he's going to play an important role in the rest of the story? And can I say, I feel like we made a mistake in coming back together if that's the scenario. If I have to go through a Tim is the hero story arc, I'm just going to shut it down now because that's unfair to me because Tim's a little asshole. Continue, please.
Look, think about it. Tim had a call to adventure that he refused, and then he has a series of mentors who are in greatness. They're about to all die, and so Tim needs to step up. And I mean, I think it seems pretty clear.
I don't like this. I don't like this whole bronze is right thing. I'm not a fan of it. I prefer it doesn't happen often. I think it's maybe a little too much now, but okay.
What can I say? Some of us were born with victory in our veins.
That's right. Some of us were not born
See what I
losers.
did there, Jeff? See how
Oh, I
brought-
see. Oh, I see what you did. I don't like it. I'm not a fan.
What I mean to say is that was a very important event for the four of you. I don't know if it's important to the story, merely that it's meaningful to the players, which really is the most important story in Dungeons and Dragons.
Gay? Just kidding.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
So when you moved into the second region of the Sunfall Cycle, well, gosh, what did you find there, guys?
I'm not answering that question.
Which region?
That was the town of Servitude.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's
right.
where we had the we found the that house with the water pool in it, and
The patrician's house.
The patrician's house, and Jesse got the outfit and put it on.
That's right.
And we found I turned into a penguin, and I pecked that guy's fingers off so we could get the scepter from the well. Wasn't that the scepter?
Yes, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, we have that. And oh yeah, the key. We got a key. Is that right?
Yeah, you got a key from the dresser drawer that the looters were throwing out of the upper balcony of the patrician's house, and you haven't actually found where it goes yet.
Yeah, we haven't researched that.
It's true.
There was the barricade camp.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Yeah, that
holy-
was where you met a number of important characters, including Praetoria, the precocious child, and what's the name of the woman? Is it Rael?
That sounds right.
That sounds right.
Sounds right. Yes, Rael, who's sort of the begrudging organizer, begrudging producer, should we say, of the barricade camp?
Yeah, she pretty much is.
Totally.
And there was the armory, right?
Yes. So you made your way through the town of Servitude, and you ended up finding like a back passage down underneath. And what did you find underneath the streets of the town of Servitude?
Oh my God, a lot is down there. There is a evil Dahaka Cult. There is, which by the way, we not only murdered everyone involved with it, we murdered their god too. So suck it, Dahaka Cult. Also, we discovered that there is a weird underground cavern with a troll that sat on me and crushed me, and that was unpleasant.
Yeah, Henderstentia. Yep.
And
Good old Henderstentia.
God, there's a lot down there. There's also another chasm we found that has lava or something in it that leads to a river that is where I was also
And a
brutally
shrine.
murdered. Why do I keep going into chasms? I only end up dead.
We'll never know.
Every time I'm like, I'll do it. So that's down there as well. And almost all of them seem in some way connected. But also the Dahaka Cult had an elevator that led up to the church, which, by the way, have we ever talked about the fact that the cult led to the church? Or I don't think we've ever had that conversation, but the cult leads up to the church, and inside the church, we met Father Horatio Ignatius.
Father
Ignatius.
Hadrax.
Yeah, whatever the hell his crazy name was.
Ignacio.
And we met
Hadrax, Ishmael, Ignatio, Jacobin.
Yeah. And then we met his guard from the castle guard who wanted to do me, obviously. And
Yeah, Moraine.
Yeah,
Moraine
and
Dow.
then we murdered both of them.
You murdered them.
It's super
With-
weird looking back at notes. And you're like, yep, those are all words that are on here.
And then we
Are
killed the hell out of them and took their stuff. And
And there was the
They
bell,
wanted a-
the bell tower, and where there's like that viewing lens thing.
Yeah, they wanted us to get a viewing lens because the viewing lens gives us access to the king, or the astronomer of the king can give us a favor for it. And there's also I also wrote down water weird. I don't know why.
the water weird was the creature that we fought in the pool room.
In the patrician's house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Duh.
Viewing lens, water weird.
Yeah, cool. And so you met like a whole bunch of actors. There was Father Hadrix Ishmael Ignatio Jacobin IV, who was a father of the cult of Coronet, which is like the dominant religion of these lands in these late years of time. You found the cult of Dahaka hidden underneath the streets. It seemed like maybe the patrician was secretly a member of the Dahaka cult because he had this Dahaka statue that led into the Dahaka basement, and he had this book that was like a prayer book of Dahaka. Like, there's something weird going on there. And that's about when you went into the past and you saw some of the strife between the king and the king's guards, the warlocks who seemed to be summoning solar demons down on the population of the city, the sort of like the leaders of the peasantry from within the town of Servitude. So you got to see some of that. You got to go meet the king, who abruptly kicked everyone's ass as soon as y'all made violent overtures. And so just recently, you made your way all the way through the town of Servitude into the field while the bell tower is. You dumped out a huge chest of treasure in a field of crows, and then strode off and entered into a forest.
But there was a funeral going on too.
For people who are curious, they're like, what does the forest map look at? Boy, I want to really hate Steven. Just take a look. Just enjoy that right there. That's all we know of the forest at the moment, and it is poopy.
Ta-da!
Yeah. So get ready for that.
It takes, what, 10 minutes to move into each new hex.
And just remember also, slowly as we do this, the world is ending. So as we move through each new hex, we're wasting more time. And yeah, just all sorts of great things are happening right now. But for the moment, we are not anywhere near all that because we're on the moon.
It's true. Yes. So, yeah, most recently you fought off this terrifying flesh golem zombie-raising entity in the woods called the Gore Crow, as in scarecrow, but gore. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
It was like,
did he keep crows? Like, what was his purpose?
Well, I don't think you know.
Cool. All right, continue. Thanks for being a butt on that one.
Anytime,
You
Jesse.
monster.
So I think it's entirely fair for you to wonder what the hell was this thing doing in the woods? But I don't think you've come across any answers to that question. I don't think you've posed that question to anyone yet who might be able to tell you information about it. But I'm glad you're curious.
Thanks.
You're welcome. So yes, as a consequence, you grabbed this final of the 4 tiers of saloon that you need, booked it to a camp associated with the Knights of Astafon, who all wear beautiful white armor and bronze cherub mask faces. You made friends with a couple of Knights of Astafon, got yourselves inducted into their camp, and then they had a sunfire brazier that you were able to use to teleport back to the moon. And here you are once again. So remind me, Eric, do you remember the major features of the moon?
The first major feature I can think of is the pool, the fountain upon which we come out and go back in.
Yeah, there's like a reflecting pool, a pond there. That's like the port of entry.
There is a forge that is there, but maybe not complete. Like, or at least it works, but the white smith or blacksmith can't create the tools without something in particular. I'm vaguely
so
remembering.
the forge was cold at first, and there were few tools in it. And then you all ventured back into the town of Servitude and found the armory, where there was this smith in the thrall of this demon that you managed to fight off of him and then bring him back to the moon. And now he's there. Tim is there inside the forge powering it. I think he's got enough to do some pretty good things for y'all. Yes. Hang on, I might sneeze.
Bless you.
Thank you. I've been
Shut
fighting
up.
like the.
Shh.
I've been fighting like the world's lowest grade cold for like 5 days, and it's just like amazing. So now you've got a working forge. There's also a giant tree.
Well, there's a giant tree. So I always imagined it that the pool was sort of like in the middle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then around the pool were all the locations that we would need to visit. So there would be the big tree, and that's where the crow, whose name I forgot.
Maine.
Oh,
Maine.
yes.
He's a main
Nice.
character.
Just gonna remove you from
Ah.
Slash G kick.
this. So, Maine is a giant crow that we trade and sell things to, and also collects smaller crows to give to Maine, that unlock magic spells and scrolls for us, that let us learn things and get new weapons and things as we go through. There's also a giant forge now, which is where we can
inside of a
make
tall white tower. It's in the base. The
It
ground
was an
floor.
empty tower, so it was one of those RPG things where it's like, oh, we got to fill it up with something. And so now it is a forge. And there is Brit's garden that is sort of crystals, like
Yeah,
crystal
it's
garden.
made of crystals.
What
And I
color
have
are
a
your
don't I have a
crystals?
chest in there too, Steven?
Yeah, totally.
The
Just
colors
storage.
are like a seafoam and purple and gray colored crystals. And it
Fantastic.
overlooks the reflecting pool toward the outer space. There's like a wide open view from there.
Sure.
Yeah, totally. You can see the small blue disk of the earth in the background, the bright yellow sun in the distance beyond. Yeah. Awesome. Well, what do y'all say? We take a 5-minute break because we've been here for a little while. We get a drink of water, stretch our legs, come back, and then we can level up our characters.
Oh my
which I
God,
know
I'm
we have.
ready. I'm ready to level up.
Did it?
And then we can talk about where we go from there.
All right. Well, we shall return with some more goofiness and genuine insanity here in a minute. But before we go, I need to change our title. See, look at that. Professionalism. Okay.
A very goofy Sunfall.
We just got a raid.
Oh
Hello.
no!
Hello. Oh, we've been raided. Hi, Knobs. Hello. Thank you. Speaking of which, if there's anyone who's going to be an old person talking about WoW, it's that man right there. Okay.
Amazing.
We'll be back very shortly. Stay tuned for more Sunfall Cycle. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Sunfall Cycle.
You know who ruined day drinking is stay-at-home moms who train their children poorly.
Welcome
I
back
thought
to
it
the
was people
show.
showing up in
Hi,
auto plants.
Jesse is trying desperately to welcome back to
Nope.
the show.
Nope.
Nope, we're just going to
Brit
talk
has
about
strong
day drinking
opinions
now.
about day drinking.
You know who ruined day drinking?
You know who did it.
I just need to get this off my chest. I just spilled my wine.
Yeah, welcome back. Everyone took time on our break to find alcohol. Bless. I have
I realized he doesn't have alcohol.
He
Has
doesn't
to
have
go get
anything to
wine.
drink.
Yeah.
Eric, where's your wine?
It's water. I'm on the clock.
I'm at my office, but I'm not on the clock, so I am drinking cider that I found in the kitchen.
Excellent. Yes,
I've got
if,
a nice Cabernet Sauvignon.
Oh, that's
Ooh,
Sauvignon. I
Sauvignon?
love Sauvignons.
Mhm.
I almost lied to all of you. We may not have alcohol, but we do have Coors Light, and that's good enough for me.
Hey.
That's a classic alcohol.
Exactly.
It is. And
That's-
you know what
that's
else
Not
it
a
is?
quarter
That's not
beverage.
alcohol.
America.
I'm so happy you have that. I didn't know. That was the
kazoo is
best
plated gold.
surprise.
That was some excellent kazooing.
Bronze,
Thank you.
for next year's TwitchCon, we need to have you perform at the opening ceremony.
I will do it with the
that
full
kazoo.
flag.
Oh yeah,
And a kazoo in my mouth. I'll do.
the national anthem.
Can I lead like a group of Rockettes behind her as she does it?
Yes.
And we all
Yes.
high kick together, and we're all dressed up like the women in the Captain America part when he's like on
The
parade.
1940s.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you all have to be drinking Coors Light.
I
I'll make
don't
sure
know.
we get.
Would
I'm gonna
pay
get
for
the
that.
insurance
Sponsor
cover.
us.
I'm paying extra for the insurance coverage on this. Get the Coors Light in there.
I feel like alcohol is on a decline these days, and it's like White Claw or whatever it is that's on the up.
Oh, nah.
Hard
That's
pass.
what all the gamers are into these
I don't-
days.
I mean,
Claw? What is a
LaCroix
White
is
Claw?
already like not good. Why would you add malt beverage to it?
Here's the thing. It
Oh.
doesn't.
Seltzer?
Isn't White Claw with like?
Isn't it basically LaCroix
Bronze.
with booze?
Yeah, it's
Bronze.
alcoholic
Yes.
seltzer.
It's not
because I
great.
wanna
Alcoholic.
get a little
Isn't that a gin and
loud,
tonic?
but
It's
I
not
don't want to
great.
get fat.
It's a gin and tonic. Why are you not just drinking a gin and tonic?
A gin and tonic tastes good. It doesn't taste
Yeah.
like somebody breathed. Like it's
No.
like I ate an orange Tic Tac and breathed onto the
Oh,
White
wow,
Claw,
so-
and because it reminds you of an orange, but it doesn't actually taste like that.
Can I
I've
tell you
had
what's
arguments with
crazier?
people about this.
I know many
Essence.
people who love it, especially in LA, because we're all the worst. And
Yes.
everyone here is like, oh yeah, I love it. I have like 8 or 9. I'm like, doesn't that defeat the point of drink? Like, oh, I go through a
8 or
whole pack a
9?
night. Yes, people they just down it like it's water, and they're like, it's me really buzzed. And I'm like,
Take 5 shots of tequila and like go about your
Yeah.
day. What
So
are you
much
doing?
easier.
Me and Britt got fucking blasted.
Oh my
through
god,
the
I
freaking
found
show.
Bronze. I found that photo the other day in my DMs because we sent it to Zeke and I had to DM him about
A
work
case?
and I saw it. I was like, I gotta send it to you.
A case
Bronze
of
and
White
I-
Claw.
Drake, and it. What was that? Was that tequila?
No,
We
it was
got it.
vodka.
We got vodka
Postmates
postmated to our hotel while we were shooting
Yes.
the pre-show one night, and we sat outside and smoked. And we got cigarettes postmated too. We smoked cigarettes and drank
Yeah.
vodka straight out
Yeah.
of the bowl for like.
Yeah, and
4
for the
hours.
record, I don't smoke. I just
I
look
don't
like,
either.
Yeah,
We were like,
I was like, they just look like fun.
cigarettes.
I don't. None of what you said is
I'm a
good.
fun drunk.
Terrible. The next day, we had a good time.
Yeah, we had a good time. Yeah.
wouldn't
yeah, it was
recommend
good.
it on a daily basis. but Better than White Claw.
I remember the
Better
I
than
remember
White
you
Claw.
showing me the photo because we were like, we should get Zeke to join us. And Zeke texted us a photo of us and was like, I see you bitches.
Oh yeah.
Because he's like looking down from his hotel room.
Fucking creep. That was so
All
funny.
right.
What?
Sorry. Okay.
That's
The case. All I'm gonna say, I just looked at the price of
Love
a
you, Zeke.
case of White Claw. 18 cans is like you can just buy a pretty decent bottle of tequila for that.
Look,
Yeah.
it's
What?
the fact that it doesn't. Having tried one, it doesn't taste like alcohol. So I get how if you're like, I
But it
want to
does a
get
good
wasted,
tequila.
but I don't want to know that I'm getting wasted. Then I understand like that's your thing, but I don't. I would never recommend it to anyone. It is
That's
garbage.
how I know I'm
poo-poo.
like a
Yeah.
hard motherfucker because I used to slam Four Locos.
Oh
You know?
yeah. No, I used to bong Four Logos at college parties.
See,
Four
that's
Loko
what
is where it
the
was at.
Sunfall Cycle crew would we'd be
Yeah.
chilling like they're over there with their White Claw and we'd be like out
Four
there with their
Loko.
fucking
Beer
blasters,
hats with the
like
Four
with
Loko.
90s music. Yeah, drinking Four Loco.
It's,
Blasting
one,
Evanescence.
one in each funnel, make it the 8 Loco.
Wake
We'd
me
be like
up.
the least
Wake me
cool
up
people.
inside. Yeah,
Like,
and
not
drinking
even
Four
trying
Loko.
to be trendy. Like, oh my gosh, have you
amazing.
tried White Claw? Bitch, we got fruit punch flavored Four Loco.
Four Loko.
One of these is like 12 of those. Like,
This is
oh yeah,
Yes!
that's so good.
I can hold on. Put that back up for a minute. Put that back up because
legend
that is
is
a
on
photo.
Brit's
guys
phone.
don't smoke.
That is a photo where Bronze
Not good for
realized how
you.
insane it was, and Britt was like, "I'm fucking in it, man."
I'm laughing. I'm like in the background.
Yes,
laughing.
it looks like you realized what was happening while, and Britt was just like, "Whatever."
Look at that image of her though. She looks like a hard ass motherfucker. She's like,
Yep.
got a full bottle in her hand and the cigarette in the same hand. She
And a phone in
like,
the third hand.
you know,
Don't
I know
ever
how to have a good time.
who doesn't laugh
Typical
when they
Wednesday.
do that? This is the same girl that's like, I'll come out and pour water on your burning loot crate. And also like, what up, bitch?
we'll sell that version. That's an exclusive random drop, 1 in 1 million chance of getting. Hard Brit.
Yeah.
Hard Brit.
Hard Brit.
That's why I have to be so sweet all the time, because it's like all the the softness, and then like when I go hard, I can go like 1000%.
I'm sorry. When you go what?
It's like werewolf rules,
like
you know.
kind and like the soft, like I'm not gonna do that with
Even
you.
the way you said "when I go hard" was very cute. You're like, "When I go hard."
When I go hard, I am like
1000%.
1000% hard. Like I'm like the hardest.
I'm the hardest.
I'm the hardest, and like no one can stop me.
I think you get your chances of getting hard
I
Brit
got the perfect representation. I got it.
increase exponentially if you have a bronze in your collection.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's bronze is like
Yeah.
the booster.
I'm like a Blue Lantern. I used everyone else's powers.
Yes. Yeah.
I just went really nerdy right there. Yeah, so there's two forms of Brit. There's the Brit at the bar that will compliment you on your shoes when you're in the bathroom together. And then there's the Brit that's outside the bar smoking that'll beat your ass.
If you're not nice to my friend.
You're not nice to her friend. So like those are the two forms.
Yeah.
And
That's
you're
me.
like, is
That's
that the
really
same
is-
girl?
That's
It is.
exactly me. Those are the
Same
two
girl.
most distinctive. Yeah, that's exactly on bronze. That's who I am.
Checks out.
I don't. Have you ever seen that Saturday Night Live skit where it's a kid trying to study in his dorm room and the posters come alive, and one of the posters is of this girl who's like, "I love hot dogs." That's Brit's voice right now. Whenever she's like, "Yeah, I'm trouble."
I'm so bad.
That's the voice. That's the voice. I love big hot dogs. That's the voice.
I love hot dogs. Don't
I
even
thought-
get me started on hot dog buns or condiments.
I thought you were
Are we
just gonna
leveling
go-
up? What's going on?
I thought you were just gonna go straight to like the Natalie Portman rap, right?
That's how I view Brit now. Is
Yeah,
that
that's-
like,
That's
bitch?
Brit. It's just that
Just
rap.
knocking, yeah. Fanboys over. Get out of here.
Well, gosh, folks, welcome back to the Sunfall podcast. Like, I think we should maybe level up.
Let's do this. Let's level up. I'm so excited.
Who wants to go first? Jesse.
Eric, I feel like because you're our North Star today. Your sweet shaven face is our North Star guiding us. I
Baby
feel like you
Vulgaris
should go
is gonna
first.
lead y'all to victory.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Baby Vulgar.
All right. Yeah. So I think in honor of Geoff, I'm gonna roll my HP.
That is really the only acceptable answer.
So I'm a paladin, so it's a D10. Oh,
Wow.
Hey.
less than average actually. Okay.
Yeah, hitting that 0.5 down, but you add your Constitution modifier, right? Do you have a
do.
0 Constitution modifier?
Nope, I have a 1.
All right.
I have a 2.
I have a 2.
Huzzah!
You know
Level
what's
s-
really ironic, though? Sorry to interrupt. What's really ironic is you're doing this for Geoff, but this entire show would have been torture for him. He would have been sitting here
He
the
would have
whole
hated
time.
this entire
Like,
thing.
or we
Right.
could play, I don't know, or we could talk about White Claw. Like he would have been, am I wrong? He would have
No.
been sitting there like you could see the eye twitch starting to come in.
Yep.
He would have been so upset with this whole episode.
Yes, but
He is, yeah,
Floor Geoff would have loved this.
that's true.
It's important to troll the memories of your friends.
Dropping everything.
All right, fantastic. So, Kairos, is 60 now your new hit points?
It is my new total.
Jesus.
So 60 is my new total. Paladins don't get too much at level 6. I do get my aura of protection, and I shared it in chat. So everybody within 10 feet of me will get a +1. That includes me because I'm within 10 feet of myself. You get +1 your saving throws. My charisma isn't very high, so gotta deal with that.
But you must be conscious to grant this bonus. So if you are unconscious, you don't get the bonus to your death saves.
Right.
Well, dang, that's super cool. And because you were level 5, you can already attack twice, which is nice.
Yep. And again, one extra spell, one extra level 2 spell slot, I should say. And that's it.
Spell slot, really?
Yep. Paladins, four level 1 spells and 2 level 2 spells.
Yes. You already had
already
2
do
level 2
that.
spells at level 5.
Oh, whatever. I just read across the line.
Hey, it's good to know.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
Awesome. Jesse, how about you?
I don't get a lot as per usual. I get 2 expertise points to put into stuff. So I imagine I click the thing on here, yes? At level 6, I choose 2 more proficiencies.
Yes.
Yeah,
Did you double? You already had expertise, right?
Yes, at level 1 I already had it. So at level 6 I just get 2 more.
Yeah. So you get to choose 2 skills that you double your proficiency bonus in.
Yep.
And that literally is just clicking the box in here, yes? On the
Yep.
No, it's not quite that simple. So what you're gonna want to do, I think, checking the box just checks the box. It doesn't actually flag it as expertise. I think what you're going to want to do is go down under your skills to tool proficiencies and custom skills and add those 2 skills there with like a double proficiency modifier.
Gotcha. Okay, so
you can actually do proficiency bonus as expertise.
As expertise in that field. For you. Yep. So you've done that for thieves, tools, and stealth. So I'll just want to do it for the other 2.
So I think what I'm gonna do is athletics, since you constantly ask me to do athletics checks because I like to climb things, and I guess the other one will be.
Do you already have stealth?
I do have stealth, and it's done very, very well for me. So
the way that I read this, it has to be one of your current proficiencies that you choose. So athletics, you're already proficient in, so you can choose that.
Right.
That's fine.
Jesse, do you already have investigation as an expertise?
I do not, but I have it clicked here as a thingamabobber. So I could do that.
Because don't you do the sort of like Sherlock Holmes math thing with expertise?
Yes, you're constantly trying to eye for detail things and then rolling like a 2.
And you roll so bad every time. Literally, this entire game is you rolling bad with that. So maybe that one.
Sure, I will do that. I think investigation works really well. So when I add them to this list here, I have athletics. Do I touch anything? I just add it to my thing, and then am I bumping?
Where it says proficiency bonus there, proficient, click to that, and there's an
expertise.
A drop down to expertise. Yep.
And make sure that you're using the proper attribute, which you are, and then that's it. Yep. And then you click the little gear to collapse that. Yep,
All right, investigation. Oh my lord. Nice. Cool. So here's a question for you, just really quickly.
Yes.
The investigation on my list, it has oh, never mind, it fixed itself. We all good.
Ta-da!
Boom, done. Look at that. All right, yeah, I am good to go. The only thing I need to do, so I have added on, for those who are curious, added on I have athletics and I have investigation now, and also stealth because it's amazing, and thieves tools, and and chess for some reason. So get wrecked, nerds.
You're good at chess.
Yeah, so I guess I'm going to roll for my... I just want to be above 30 HP.
I thought you said chests.
I'm an expert in chess. So this is a D10 is what I'm rolling?
No.
oh, because of my, whatchamacallit.
Gosh, Jesse, you're only a rogue. You're a D8.
Yeah, okay. I hate you.
Oh!
Welcome to the party, pal! I'll take it. 37.
37. Fantastic.
Nice. Look at that. That's making up for stuff now.
That's right. You rolled terribly like your first 4 levels.
God, I'm so happy.
All right. Aya, how about you?
Okay, so I guess we'll do hit points first.
Okay.
That's not terrible.
Yeah, not bad. That's better than average.
So I go up to 39.
Killer.
All right, and then I get a new patron feature from my benefactor.
Yeah?
Because mine is a great old one, I get Entropic Ward. I learn to magically ward yourself against good attack or against attack and to turn an enemy's failed strike into good luck for yourself. When a creature makes an attack roll against you, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on that roll. If the attack misses you, your next attack roll against the creature has advantage if you make it before the end of your next turn.
Wow.
Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest.
That feels powerful.
Yeah. So pretty excited about that. So I get that. That's free. And then I get a new spell, which I'm kind of between fear, summon lesser demons, because I just feel like summoning an army of Tims would be kind of fun, and Hunger of Hadar, which I also think might be useful.
What is that?
I can basically create like a cone or a sphere in which people can't see. So it's like a sphere of blackness and bitter cold, and it's filled with a cacophony of soft whispers and slurping noises that can be heard up to 30 feet away.
Ew.
No light, magical or otherwise, can illuminate the area. Creatures fully within the area are blinded, and it becomes difficult terrain. Any creature that starts its turn in the area takes 2d6 cold damage, and any creature that ends its turn in the area must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 2d6 acid damage as milky otherworldly tentacles rub against it. That feels really on brand for me.
Yeah.
And it's also really powerful because like if they start their turn in it and it's difficult terrain, like it's like a really powerful spell.
Plus, we don't have anything, even with Brit's fog or whatever you had, we don't have anything that we've met many bosses, and every time we try to be like, make it so they can't see us, it's failed every time. So maybe this is our opportunity to make that happen. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll grab it. Let's do it.
We're getting close to the levels where Brit can start making walls too, and so you just double team people where you
and
just
they just are stuck in there forever
and have my tentacles eat them.
Yeah, and then you're done.
It just feels so on brand for me too.
Yeah.
Swallow them in. Just cask of Amontillado people with your
I think
tentacles.
I think Atikusu is definitely in favor of the Hunger of Hadar.
Yeah, no, that'll be fun. So that's what I get. I get Hunger of Hadar, my ward, and
your hit points.
My hit points. So
very cool. Awesome. All right. Britt Wiseman.
Okay, Steven.
And Kara.
Well, I think it was only like 2 or 3 episodes I was gone. I'll take a small break. So I'm currently at level 4. So am I going to 5?
You're going to
6?
6. We're
gonna double level you up.
Help me. What do I do?
All right. So the first thing that's going to happen is we're going to level you up to level 5. So your proficiency. So, I mean, what you're going to do is in Roll20, you're just going to make your level go up to 5. And that automatically increases your proficiency bonus from +2 to +3. Boom.
Yes.
Killer. At level 5, you also gain access to 2 third-level spell slots.
Okay.
So here, you've already got it there because Roll20 character sheets are actually pretty awesome at automating these things. As a druid, of course, you have access to the entire list of third-level spells. So at your leisure, you should take a look at those and decide which ones seem the most interesting to keep prepared. That's all you get at level 5.
Yeah.
And we have to roll for your hit points.
Okay. And which one do I do for that?
It's a D8 for you as a druid.
1,
D8 +3 because
8.
your constitution
right.
incredible. 7, not bad. So you go from 39 to 46.
Cool. Dope.
And now let's level you up to 6th level. So why don't we roll your hit points again?
Oops. Whoa.
Whoa. And now you're at
57.
Nearly equal to our paladin over here.
Golly.
Sick.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And what happens when you turn into a bear? Bear Kara? You get like 8 million points now?
Ah! No, I don't know.
She just gets the bear's hit points on top of
Yeah,
her.
it's always the same.
It's like 36 hit points, but hey,
Oh.
nobody else can instantly heal themselves for 36 HP. Incredible. And then you also get a druid circle effect, and you're a circle of the moon?
I am a circle of the moon.
What do you get at level 6?
Is it the Primal Strike thing?
It is Primal Strike. Your attacks in beast form count as magical for the purpose of overcoming resistance and immunity to non-magical attacks and damage. And that is it. At level 6, instead of 2 third-level spell slots, you all of a sudden
3,
have
right?
3. Yep.
Cool.
Which I think Roll20 is already taken care of for you.
And
so.
my wild shape BCR max is 2 because it's 6 divided by 3 rounded down. And then I also can have swimming, but not flying yet. I think it's 8th level, I get to fly. I'm so excited to fly, you guys.
I've got to put some like swimmy content in the game.
Yes, let me be an
Underwater
alligator.
content. Okay.
Get 'em.
I love that. Is that the only thing you can be is an alligator, or did your head immediately just go to let me be an alligator?
No, I really like alligators. I think they're cute.
She could be a python.
Yeah. Let's see.
Wrap
Okay.
around someone's neck.
I can be, oh man, there's so many things. Giant boar, giant constrictor snake, giant elk, hunter shark. That's cool.
What does that mean?
Hunter shark.
Polar bear. Let's see. Swarm of poisonous snakes. That's pretty cool. And then anything else under the CR2 that swims, I can also be. But I think that was at 4th level. So probably the shark is the biggest underwater one. 45 hit points, armor class 12, 40 feet of swimming.
Pretty
but I can
neat.
only breathe underwater, so.
You could surely like jump out, leap out of the dragon. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, canonically, Sarek is afraid of sharks. So.
Is he?
Is that where your name comes from? Like Shark Basher? Eric Basha?
I just don't. I sharks are godless killing machines. And
What if I put a saddle on my back and let you take a shark ride?
you know what?
steer you
Every
around.
other time I've stood upon Ankara, we've killed something. So.
I'm just
What if we give
saying.
it eyelashes?
Oh, here's the thing: if you gave a shark eyelashes and like little rosy cheeks, super cute.
See?
Oh, easy. Done.
So like kawaii shark.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like my little fins just like, high five. It's a nice shark.
No.
I think that's
Yeah.
it. So yeah, so I just need to choose 3 third level spells essentially.
Yeah.
And then Steven, can you just, if it occurs, if there is a moment where Primal Strike like applies, I'm just trying to kind of understand that within the context of the game. So,
Yeah. So
if
there's
it comes up,
there's been a number of encounters that y'all have fought where certain of you were dealing half damage because you weren't using a magical weapon.
right? Okay.
And so
That
now
makes
all of a
sense.
sudden your claws or teeth or whatever count as magical for the purposes of overcoming that kind of resistance. So for
Okay.
example,
Nice.
many of the demons from the sun have that kind of resistance.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Dope.
Now,
Okay. Thank
Cool.
you.
I was actually strongly considering giving you the magical item that made your claws act as magical. And then I looked at your class list and I was like, nope, she's good.
I made it.
But you have a magical item now, right?
I
what
still
does it-
have my snake staff, which is my favorite thing. But it was
Yes.
Are you talking about that one? The
What was
staff of the adder.
You got like some claws of the bear or something, right?
Oh no, I got the
Oh, yeah.
torques, right?
Yes, the
torques
torques.
of the shifter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you remember what those do?
I'm
favorite
trying to look
Mastodon
for my
album.
notes. No,
They do
I
something
don't.
super awesome. They do something like you can make an attack in the same, like as a reaction to shifting, basically. you can make an attack.
Oh.
And then it
awesome.
was like, and it's also like when you spend a spell slot while you're in your shifted form, it's something like you roll twice and take the better of the healing result.
What?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Use that soon.
Super killer. Yeah. So, what do y'all want to do with like the last 15 minutes of our playtime for tonight until we, until we hit that critical 9:30 p.m., 11:30 a.m., 12:30 a.m.
Murder
p.m. timeline. Yeah, like
Murder?
you could head back and like hunt out into the forest that you're around. Or we could talk about like how we'll kick off next week.
Well,
What
can
do
you
you
explain to us at the end of the last time we played?
Yes.
We had met some soldiers in the forest.
Yes.
And we were with them.
Yes.
And they recognized that maybe something was up because I had a bow that belonged to not me. And I seem to recall that Bronze tried to hit on them. I know that that's what... I seem to recall that happened.
No.
It was that
did.
Bronze got like aggressively hit on instead.
Yeah, they hit on me. I was not into it.
You
true.
flirted. And so then... I don't remember what happened with that. Like, the monster came through, we defeated it, a guy got killed, then were we still with them or did we run?
So y'all were running away, you turned and stood, one of them got killed, but the other two helped you kill this massive gore crow creature. You followed them to their camp, and then you were like, yeah, we are Knights of Astafon. We are your friends.
They did not buy it.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Gesundheit.
Shut up.
Shh.
Stop sneezing.
It almost worked there. Yeah.
Yes. You went back and you were like, oh, we are totally Knights of Astafon and the good guys. Yes. Who all did you meet there? Oh, I'm looking at, yes. Yeah, you met Aurienne of the Golden Chains, a paladinic knight of Astafon who has like golden chains wrapped around her wrists. And she welcomed you in and thanked you for protecting her her favored knights, gave you the use of the command tent to collect yourselves, and then that's where you found the Sunfire Brazier. And before she let you leave, she was like, oh, hey, by the way, thanks, and tossed you one of those Tears of Saloon. And
That's right. That's how we got the last one.
Yep.
That's right. Okay.
That
I just want to
is
make sure that we were caught up on where we were. So we would, if we did anything, we were like.
So what's our next course of action?
We should strategize. That's how we should spend our time.
That's what we should do.
The Gore Crow, as far as we know, is not the bear.
No, the bear. So there are, again, versions of us hidden through each zone, I guess. And in the forest zone, it's the Ankara version. I think so. I think that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. The dark. Yeah. The Shadow Realm Ankara.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right.
And so, yeah, that's still out there. And we were looking for... Did we find the brother or the one person we were sent out here to find? The soldier?
Not yet, no.
So those two are missing. And we have to look around the forest, I assume, to find more stuffs.
Personally, I like the idea of going after the bear and following this storyline, if only because Brit's back. And this kind of, I think, means we're focusing on Ankara a little bit.
Time out. Do you just want to see two bears fight? Because I do too.
I mean, that's...
Wait, why are we killing them?
How do you know that we're going to fight?
Why I want to do this.
Am I crazy? I don't remember why we have to kill them.
Well, because one killed me, and so we have to kill them all, I believe is well,
the point is to find out what's going on. Right. Well,
it was a prophecy, wasn't it? What was that paper?
You found a letter to Hadrax.
Oh, I'll put that on the screen.
Yeah. What if it's like a Shadow of the Colossus moment and we accidentally kill them and we're supposed to keep them alive?
And there's like dark tendrils of evil that go flowing into you and corrupt you. Does that sound like something I would do?
Yeah? You're all about that dark tendril life.
That's true.
We also don't particularly know, again, who to trust. We have, on one side, we have Saloon telling us that we have to go back, like, we're trying to save the world, but she's very iffy on, like, she's not telling us all the details. We have this rebellion group who we saw their view when we went back in time, but we also saw that
hate the king.
Yeah, we also saw that some of them are like up to no good because we were like, no, we'll handle this. They did it anyway. And then we saw from the king's perspective, and the king has his own motivations, and they are not exactly what we think. And then Sarek has seen the fact that the queen from his his home city is involved in some shenaniganry too, because she wants this thing to go down so that can take over and become like the #1 city. And because Sarek's a dick, he is like, I can tell nobody that information.
That sounds like a great plan.
Yeah. So
well, isn't the lady from your town also in cahoots with my patron? Because my patron's involved too. We don't even know what that crazy motherfucker.
And I have not told you that. I'm not telling. Yeah, everything I learned.
I was metagaming, but yeah.
Yeah. Like everything that I've learned, I've
what we're
kept
doing right now.
quiet.
We're talking about it.
And so I've definitely. I'm not sure where my loyalties lie. I think is the thing there as well.
It's gonna suck for you because my patron's an asshole.
Well, here's the thing. So is Sarek.
So if your leader lady is taken up with him, it's probably for something funny because that's the type of dude that he is.
Sure, but I don't. It very well could be that she is completely misguided, which is probably true.
He's probably like, "Oh, this will help you," but then he's probably like, "When I do this."
Well, I think that we know for a fact that she's wrong, right? Because her whole plan's like, when the sun goes out, we'll take over. But like, the world ends, so it's a terrible strategy. It's a very bad plan. So yeah, I think there's multiple factions to deal with, and a lot of the things happening, we have no clue. You know, we fought and killed Dahaka. But then, like, there's other things where, like, Dahaka was this beautiful god thing. Like, who knows? Who knows what the hell is actually going on? Steven's a monster, is what I know.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, fantastic. So, ultimately, like, y'all don't know a whole lot about what's going on in this forest yet. Yeah.
So, finding out more by exploring the forest seems like what our plan's going to be.
Cool. Before we see a very quick scene of that beginning to happen, do y'all remember what we talked about as far as memorializing Geoff in-game, memorializing Armoros in-game?
Yes.
Is everybody still thumbs up on that?
Sure.
Yeah, I say yes.
Fantastic. So, you know, y'all have been teleporting back and forth to and from the moon a number of times. And, you know, sometimes people just don't make the transition. You wake up and, you know, Brit's gone and Kairos is back, or Ankara's gone and Kairos is back, or, you know, Armoros is gone and Ankara is back. This time you leave the Gardens of the Moon and you wake up in the command tent in the center of the Knights of Astafon encampment. And in front of the shrine, in front of the Sunfire brazier, there is a long sword thrust deep in the earth, probably 2/3 up the length of its blade. And it's a pitch black sword run through with deep blue veins. And I think probably all of you feel some sort of just a sense of the severing of a connection. And you recognize what this means. And as you sit there around the sword, taking a look at what is here, you hear a sound from behind you. And it's this. And when you turn around, there is a small, rotund, maybe rotund might be the wrong word, robust, noble-looking bulldog who looks up at you with happy puppy eyes.
Arrow.
Like so sad but so cute.
I give him a hug.
He licks the entire side of your face. It's gross. It's like
So
I don't
slobbery.
mind.
the wettest tongue that exists.
Aw. He's still a little grumpy though, huh?
Yes, I'm sure he will be. He's a lot closer to the floor now than he has been, which I think is a very comfortable place for our Armoros, the bulldog. Wonderful. So we'll have the memory of Armoros with us and for the rest of our adventures. From here, who's taking the lead on guiding this party out into the forest?
Sark just points
Got
to
it.
Kairos. Yeah, Sark's like, you can do it.
And Kara, you should take the reins.
Yeah, I've already like thrown a stick and I'm like chasing Armoros. We're running out in the forest.
Yeah,
Hi,
awesome. Cool.
Can I take the sword so we can maybe put it somewhere later on display?
Yeah.
Because I know it was really important to him.
Totally. Do you want to take the sword like back to the moon with you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, like, what does it feel like when you grab the hilt of this sword, Aya? Is it like a thrum of power? Do you hear like the voice of angels singing, or is it just, what does it feel like for you?
Friendship.
That's wonderful.
It's a good one.
That's
Yeah.
perfect. Yes, it feels like the warmth of friendship. You pick it up, strap it to your back, and carry it with you.
And in the distance, you hear the faint whisper, nobody cares about White Claw. On the wind, nobody cares about White Claw.
That's in-game and out of game.
Yes. Cuts to some guy at a bar named like John Whiteclaw, and he's like, "What?"
Oh man. Yeah.
There we go.
Who
All right,
cares about
let's-
the difference between a nightgown and a nightdress?
They're the same thing. It doesn't matter.
I feel like given my ability to like speak telepathically, I could probably like actually have a conversation once in a while with Armoros.
Totally.
The dog version.
I'm
I
sure
still don't know what you were trying to do with that girl. What can two women do? Even as a bulldog. Sir, you must stop.
It just doesn't
Especially.
make any sense.
Yeah, we're like trailing behind the group with this. I have the sword on my back and the bulldog. Just doesn't make any sense. You're always trying to have sex with people. That's not what I was. You just see Aya like fighting with the dog as we walk. That's not what was happening there.
None of the others of you can hear the dog's side of the conversation. You just hear Aya shouting, "It wasn't like that."
God, I don't care what your brother does with women. That's not what was happening. Ugh. Go find a stick to play with or something, like while we're walking. No, you can't eat Tim. No, not even now that you're a dog.
That huge corpse probably had a lot of bones. I feel like
Oh,
Dog
yeah.
Armoros is probably
I've got a
very
whole bag of them.
excellent.
Aw.
All right. And Kara, would you please lead us in whatever direction you prefer? Where would you like to move?
Ooh, guys, where do we want to go?
The orange line here, by the way, is the hollow way that you might remember when you entered the forest. There was this sort of like carved down path that like the roots of the trees sort of grown over, called a hollow way, and that's this. The camp was situated right across it.
Okay. Does it have have a preference for the direction we go in.
Well, according to the letter, the creature we're stalking like tears the wood asunder, right? Like,
Yeah.
Is there
Good call.
Is there any sign of like wildlife being disturbed?
Awesome.
I understand we're in a dense wood.
No,
but-
that's a really good idea.
Well, y'all could very easily take 10 minutes and do a search and see if you can find any.
What if I use my new investigation?
I think investigation would be Sherlock Holmes deducing what happened from evidence in front of him, whereas it would actually be. Hang on, it's been so long since I've played Dungeons and Dragons. Oh
Am I using perception?
Perception?
And it would be perception. Yeah, or survival, actually. To locate signs. It would be survival to locate signs of.
Never mind. Good luck, everyone. I'll be back here.
Damn, yo, 19.
Guys, I know where it went.
So yeah, I think like everybody's like arguing, like we'll never find it. It's too dense. There's too many trees. And you like walk up and like set your hand on a tree that's basically split in two with like huge claw marks down each side of it. And then there's like just a trail of destruction. And it leads you in this word's direction, Ankara.
All right, let's do it.
Fantastic. I need to select the reveal areas tool.
Is that also on the path, this gold path that we're on?
Yeah, it is. So first of all, Ankara, you should set yourself to your maximum HP because everybody going back to the Gardens of the Moon, I think someone else below their maximum, they should also reset.
Done.
Fantastic. Yeah, and then where is it? Where's the reveal areas? Wait. Polygon reveal. There we go. Go ahead and move yourself down into that.
Boom.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah, from here, you can tell that this path of destruction continues moving thiswards. So if you'd like, you can continue following along, or you could follow this away, which is not the trail of destruction that these claw marks are leaving, but rather the hallway itself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Seems like we want to just keep following the destruction, yeah?
Right.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Marching order then is like Ankara, me, Sarek, or Aya? Who's in the
I guess I'd be third since Aya's in the back having a conversation with the dog right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So Ankara, Kairos, Sarek, and Aya is the marching order. Fantastic. Go ahead and move yourself.
I'm not being quiet, by the way. It's like for GMing purposes. You just hear me saying, "No, foresight isn't foresight."
That's not what it means.
Not what that is. And you just, I'm not being quiet.
Right. There's no stealthiness that's happening here.
Yes. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. Go ahead and move yourself into that space. That strangely
Great.
awesome.
That one.
Yeah.
Very beautiful space. Okay.
We can also just move that so that it's easier to see what else is marked on that space. Yeah. Excellent. So, yeah, this is going to be a really good ending to today's show.
Oh no.
So you're walking through the woods and there's this trail of destruction and the ground gets a little bit swampy. Would the three of you who are not conversing strongly with Armoros the Bulldog, would the three of you make a perception check for me, please?
Oof.
Oof.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Great.
I wonder if that's good enough. So we, the audience, watch these four heroes and their loyal companion go strolling through this forest, just like marching past trees that are like blown apart with like claw marks across them. Every once in a while, Ankara stops and like bends down to the ground and puts her hand in the the sunken paw print of some massive bear, and like looks at the contrast in size between her elf hand and the bear paw print. We've got a number of these.
It's bigger than me.
It's bigger than me. It is bigger than you. And I think like the camera is sort of like a little bit zoomed out, so it's like passing, like trees are passing in front of the camera, like between the camera and our loyal band of heroes, and like we see like the long green scales of some massive lizard go like sliding by underneath the camera as we hear, you know, the squelching sound of something in the swampy ground of this area. The four of you continue marching, not fully comprehending that all of a sudden the destruction of the trees in this area seems to be caused not by one creature but by two, until all of a sudden there's like a lull in the conversation. Aya, what's like a pointed rejoinder that you might have just shouted at Armoros the bulldog?
Oh, yeah, I would be like, no, you're not still the leader of the party. You're a dog now. And that's probably where you find her.
Just all of a sudden, like, that rings out in the silence of the swampy forest, and you realize there's like no bird sound or anything. And then one of the hillocks of this swampy terrain sort of starts sliding off to your left, and then in front of you, and then to the right. And then you realize that there's this like coil of moving earth that's surrounding you. Then from behind a tree peers out this like huge serpentine head, frilled on two sides with gnarled and almost like barnacled horns. And this creature opens its mouth and it says, "What delicious morsels have wandered into my lair?" And that, I think, is where we should end our show for today.
Why they always got to talk? Why they always gonna? Why they
Hello. You want to be friends?
No.
Oh my goodness. All right. Let's do that and go around this screen really quickly and find out what everyone's up to this week. We'll start with the Supreme herself. Britt, what is going on with you this week?
Oh. Hi, it's me, Britt Wiseman. Not much going on. Just got back from TwitchCon. I hope anyone who watched it enjoyed it. Jesse did an awesome job in Urine Clips, so go watch it.
Thank you.
I'm super happy to be back with you guys, and I'm really glad we're doing this. I know it's hard for everyone in certain ways, but this is also like unbelievably therapeutic and nice for me. So I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate everyone who still wants to hang out with us and watch our ridiculousness. I don't know. That's it. Go watch all these lovely people do their shows all week, and I hope everyone has a good weekend.
Continuing on, Mr. Steven, how are you this week? Can you spoil us on any news about video games? Here first, and...
What? Yes, actually, I can. I think we've confirmed that Death Stranding has a story mode?
You suck.
Yeah.
It definitely has a story mode. Does it have a story? Remains to be seen.
We will find out soon. Man, I think like I love seeing so many people have such strong feelings about Hideo Kojima's like work and the themes that he puts into his stories and the ways he succeeds and or doesn't quite succeed at getting them across. Like, love him or hate him, I think he does really, really interesting things with games. So I think lots of people are really excited to see what comes out of that, myself included. Friends, thank you so much for being here, for doing this show with me for the past 33 sessions and for the next 33 sessions. I'm really looking forward to seeing this through to the end. You're all wonderful people. Thank you for being here today. And chat, viewers at home, thank you for joining in. I hope you'll stick with us and see where the adventure goes.
Bronze, what are you up
That's
to
hard
this
to
week?
follow.
I know, which is why you're following it.
I know. I'm so glad it's not me. I'm
Which is
so
why
glad
you're
it's
following it.
God. How do you follow that? It's been a really emotional episode. So same here. This group is very good for me. You know, I like to make content every week that feeds my soul, and this is part of that. So thank you all for being part of my soul group.
There's a little bit of
commitment.
So yeah, no, I had fun today. I'm really excited to get back into it, and I hope thank you guys so much for showing up. Thank you guys so much for playing. And what do I have going on? I'm streaming after this for a couple hours before I go to the gym, mostly because I'm just really excited for Warsaw. I really like Darkest Dungeon games, so if you're interested in that, come through. And then in bigger news, I guess Jason Carl is building like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, except for Vampire the Masquerade.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna be in Seattle by night. So keep an eye on Penny Arcade's social media for that, because they already have LA by night, and they invited me to be a part of Seattle by night. So
that sounds awesome.
Yeah, and we all exist in the same world, which is really cool. So
Yes.
I'm very excited to do that, and yeah, I'll be around.
Oh yeah, we should say there's no show 1 week from today, but we're gonna come back 2 weeks from today. I think that's the plan.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
Damn it. Okay, see you in 2 weeks. I have to change the thing.
That's fine.
2 weeks. Okay. Eric?
Yeah.
What's up with you? What's going on this week?
Like everyone else, this has been super great to come back to. I've been missing this part of this is my Wednesdays. I love it so much. What's going on with me? Well, I'm going to Big Bad Con. If you're doing that, if you're in the Oakland area, big old gaming convention for story gaming and role-playing games, all that kind of stuff. So
Come on, Eric.
Yeah, let's hang out.
Hang out.
Yeah, let's do it.
Say hi to Sean and John and all the
everybody.
All the awesome peeps.
Yeah, so a lot of my game designer and game people friends are all going to be over there. So I'm excited doing that. So that's the 12th or 13th, I think, that weekend. Yeah, so I'm doing that. And then also this weekend, I'm starting a new campaign called Miseries and Misfortunes, which is based on Luke Crane's game about 17th century France. So if you want to hear about sadness going on right at the end of the 30 Years' War, the war of the Catholic Counter-Reformation, never being sad, that's
that
what we're
is
doing.
going to be the best show
awesome
for you to run.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's super fun. I've been reading so much about that history. It's a really exciting time for me. And I'm excited to bring it aboard. We're all dedicated to the pursuit of the Holy Grail and finding about what happened to the Holy Grail with the Knights Templar when they all fell. So like occult shit going on all throughout Paris. It's going to be great.
I think Nick Cage probably found it already.
Yeah.
But I can't wait
is
to
a
see
prequel
how
to
you
National
infiltrate Elder God Nick Cage's home at the end of that. It's going to be great. Okay, well, that's it for us. Thank you so much for watching. This has actually been... I love the four of you so much. So thank you for coming and being goofy with me. This is like a highlight of my week. And I get to harass you all, and it feels good. It feels real good to give you the shit you deserve. So I thank you, and that's it for us. We'll be back in 2 weeks. So stay tuned. We will get this episode up ASAP for those of you who missed most of it. But if you haven't and you watched with us live, thank you. Come back, watch with us live in the future. We love you, and we will see you then. Bye, everybody.
You know, where's the payoff? Bring the strippers and booze. We do occasionally talk about video games. Bring the strippers and booze. Not enough time for video games. Bring the strippers and booze.
Oh, thank God, I don't need pants now.
Hey, JC, what are you doing? Not much. Making a fortune.
It's a production of broadcast.
Yeah, now sing music.
It's a production of broadcast.
Bring the strippers and booze.
It's a production of broadcast.
Now I'm here to ask and answer one simple question.
It's a production of broadcast.
You